What's going on, guys? It's Danny. Today, obviously, had a really big day. If you watch my stream in the morning or you watch my stream at all, you know that today we ended up making $100,000 on the day. Um, I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with the report. It's definitely taking a lot of work to get to this point. I don't want you guys to ever think that, I just started trading 20 contracts, no, I've been going at it for um for a very long time, and I want to talk to you guys about something because I don't want to give anyone FOMO or anything. Guys, it's a process. Like I remember when I first started trading, I had just gone out of high school, senior in high school, and I started because obviously, same way that you guys started, right? I saw someone posting options games on the Instagram, and I was interested, and I hit up this guy, and I said, "Hey, I want to learn how to trade options," and he was like, "Yeah, I got you, man. Buy my course, the typical buy my course, right?" And at that time, I was just like you guys, right? Everything that I saw, I believed. And I ended up buying this course. I watched two videos, dude, about EMA crossover, 8 and 21 EMA. When they cross, you go into the trade. Typical, but I always knew, I've always been that guy that I kind of have like ADHD, so I'm always like running around, but I always knew that there was something much bigger out there than just two lines crossing and entering a trade or a typical indicator, and as time progressed, I just started doing it on my own. I really, to be completely honest with you guys, I never even was in a signals group because at the time where I was learning, there was no like what there is now, like live trading. There was nothing. It was just signals, and I never did any of that. Like I went out on my own way to really learn by myself because I felt like that was probably the only way that I could learn is to really do this like on my own. It's like the solo journey. It's gonna be my journey. It's not gonna be somebody else's journey. It's gonna be my journey. So what I said is like, all right, I'm gonna learn this. I started with two friends. That's why you always gotta surround yourself with good people too. I started with two friends trading options, and we would hop on a call like every morning. We would trade like Disney, we would trade Amazon, we would do all that. And I was so like dedicated to it. Like I knew I really wanted to become, you know, a trader. Whether it meant losing everything or, being broke for a couple months. I didn't really care what it meant because I mean I was young when I started, and to be honest, I really had nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. So for me, it was very easy to just say, let's just go all in. I mean, at this point, there's really nothing to lose. So Um, I remember I quit working. I started doing like DoorDash, Instacart just to kind of maintain my finances. I had like a little FRS, and I was grinding it. I was paying this card. I was paying my bills, my phone bill, everything. I was living with my grandparents. Because when I was 13, I moved out of my parents' house on and off just because I was like that. I was a very hard person to handle. I went to rehab when I was and not for drugs. I went to rehab for being such an aggressive person, with everybody. I used to get in a lot of fights, a lot of trouble. Went down, lived in Mexico, turned my life around when I was like 15 years old. 15 years old, came back. Parents didn't want me to stay with them because I would always cause problems. I ended up going with my grandparents. I grew up with them, um, more than my actual family, and they kind of, brought me up. But I remember when I first got to my grandparents, when I was 13, when I was 14, I was already looking for a job because I had to make my own money, right? No one was helping me. No one was giving me anything. No one was feeding me, so I had to go out and get on my own. I applied for McDonald's, got a job at McDonald's. I did, um, tried doing many things, to be honest, and um I quit my job at McDonald's like 2 weeks later. It just I was the type of person that I can never be told anything. Like I wanted to do things like on my own. Like if I was gonna make it out, it was gonna not be a job or I'm not gonna be an employee. I'm gonna make it out some other way. And I was so desperate at a young age to achieve that. So fast forward, right? Started options, and everyone saw my success in options, and I was just up and down. Like I had like a good month where I had like a 30-day win streak. Boom, all games gone in one day because I tried to go crazy. Got very depressed. I didn't want to do it no more. I felt like kind of like this is ridiculous. I technically like trading is gambling. Like that was my like moment where I was just like, this is such a dumb trade. You know, I did think that for a little bit. And because I overthink things like crazy, I overthink a lot, and I thought to myself like, damn, this is such a dumb trade. Like you could just lose everything. There's no real like how. My thought was just like, how are people actually doing this? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So I kept, and that was a time where I was like changing my strategy. I was like pivot point strategy, central pivot point strategy, cross EMA, EMAs, VWAP, 100 EMA, 300 EMA, SMA, volume profile, bookmap, footprint, everything. I was using everything trying to find the perfect strategy. And when I found out, like, dude, I had 30 win days and then boom, blown all my money that I made in one day. Immediate heartbreak. You start to kind of think like, holy shit, is this even a real thing? Like, is trading even real? That people cannot make money on this. Then I start to realize, and this is why I believe a lot of people call me gambler for this reason. I start to realize that trading has nothing to even do with strategy. And you can call me stupid, dumb. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, I'm making real money. I'm making real gains. You know, and the truth is that trading doesn't rely on strategy. You can have the best strategy. Look at ICT, Robbins Cup blown, right? And one of his students was in first place for like the longest time, and here you guys are praising some guy that created a strategy just by rephrasing certain things in the market. You get what I'm saying? And everybody just sees the way I trade and wants to kind of judge and be like, oh, dude, this guy just gambles, he gets lucky. Dude, luck doesn't go on for 5 years. You know what I mean? Luck is a one time thing. Hard work, dedication, you don't see that behind the screens. You don't see the amount of hours I've literally put in, the days and hours, sleepless nights, literally everything. You don't see that. You see the success now because now it popped off. But you didn't see when I was grinding. You didn't see when I was suffering, when I was losing money. You didn't see when I couldn't pay my car. You couldn't see none of that. Okay? You didn't see where I needed to just tough it out and just be broke for the whole month because I didn't have any more money to spend. It was either all in or nothing, one or the other. And I'm not saying this is the route that everyone needs to take to become successful. That's not what I'm saying, but that's the route that I took because I really wanted it. You know, Eventually, fast forward 2 years after training, like, look, guys, this is my first Instagram I created. No Discord, no nothing. I was so good at what I was doing. Look at this. Um, I was so good. If you guys take a look at these pictures over here, let's actually pull it up on my phone. This is like when I first was like, I was killing it already here, and this is like 2021. I was already fire eating. Look, that was my setup right there at my grandparents' house. I bought all those monitors, $50 monitors. It looks like $1 million setup, but to be honest, I didn't have money to afford that much. I used my grandpa's TV, bought like 4 monitors for like $50, $200, which is quite a bit, you know. But I was killing it, dude. I was going all in, crazy. Look, making good gains, 14,000 on options, 2,000. That was all. This was all in one month. I ended up making this month like about 20. Let's see. I made on a swing. I remember the BA swing. I took a put on a BA swing, and I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep all night, dude. I was up till 6 a.m. till market open to see how much I was gonna make. Made 14,000. Was so happy on that. Did another 2, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, about $25,000 I made that month, as a freaking, and that was maybe, I was like 19. Yeah, I was like 19 years old or 20 years old, right? And dude, no Discord, no nothing, and the way that I really started, guys, it's like dreams come true, you know what I mean? Like, um, no one knows this, dude, and like, this gets to me all the time, like, dude, look at this. This is really where it all started, like, dude, I was, Let's turn up the volume a little bit. Oh, sound isn't available. Like, I want to show you guys some of my calls over here. This is like when I started making content for the first time. I was like a kid.
Stop using indicators.
Oh god, dude, it's cringy. But look,
$800 to $43,000 in a day. Yes, it's very possible to make making gains like this.
Yeah, that was another game.
The right education
that I made was like $900 to $43,000 on an earnings play DocuSign, and it's just like crazy, dude. I never thought, like, I didn't have no Discord, no nothing. You know what I mean? At this time, now I make money multiple ways. And it's crazy, dude. Like, I just grind it every day, dude. Like, content. I knew I wanted to be something. I knew I wanted to show people how to do this. And this is when I got into futures. Check this out. I ended up getting into futures. See, this is how those videos, the order fill videos, dude. I'm trying to hype myself up, but I'm the one that started that format. I started doing this stuff. This is like the first time I ever did a video like that. Look, no one had ever done it, but I started recording like my live trading videos like this. This is the first time I ever did it. Here. See how, like, back then, guys, I was only making like $337, guys. Like, I was not making freaking 100K. Like, I started small, guys, just like you guys do. Look, $750. It wants me to log into my TikTok. But dude, those were my gains. Now I'm making a lot more money, but I didn't start at $100,000 making. It all started with $300. When that 300 turned into 600, and that 600 turned into 3,000, and that 3,000 turned into 6, and then 9, and then kept going. And I gained more confidence. And then soon, one day, you're going to realize that your strategy is bullshit. It doesn't matter what strategy you use. It doesn't matter if you use mine. It doesn't matter if you use the guy next to me. It's whatever helps you the most. That's what you need to stick with, right? Just because I'm successful with my strategy doesn't mean you're going to be successful, because trading is based off personalities. And what I mean that trading is based off personalities is, like, I live fast. You know what I mean? I love fast. Some people don't. Some people can't see price moving that. And those emotions, when they get in the way, they will fuck you up. Okay. And you're not going to be able to trade the same no matter what strategy you use. And once you start to understand that, then you'll understand more. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about my strategy and how I use it. And I always say this: I could teach strategy. I could teach you my strategy. I could teach you the best way, and you can learn it the best way. But you cannot teach experience. Okay? You cannot teach experience. Okay? You can't. You can teach strategy, but you can't teach experience. There's two completely different things you can't teach. And what I'm going to show you right here is my strategy, and then I'm going to talk about emotions and all that stuff, and then maybe you'll understand a little more about my style, and maybe you'll stop calling me a gambler. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's go into it, right? So here's the way I trade. We're just going to go into a random, like, time frame. That way you guys don't think I'm cheating, right? Let's go here. What is this? Good. Did I replay it? Did I? What's the date here? December 26th. Oh, was the market closed? Let's fast forward a little bit. December 27th. Let's just go to December 30th, 7 p.m. Buddy, no. Shh. All right, let's go here. 3 p.m. All right, let's go here. All right, so let's talk about this, guys. All right, so we are using, replay mode, obviously. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. We're January 1st, and then, oh wait, market's supposed to do, that week was long. Okay, we'll go here now. Okay, anyway, I want you guys to take a look at this. I always start on bigger time frame, 4 hour. Okay, and I always tell myself, all right, we're gonna start with the 4 hour time frame, okay, and then we're gonna break it down to the smaller time frames. I always start with the bigger time frame, then I always end up breaking it to the smaller time frames, right? And what do I look for on the bigger time frames? What I found out at least works for me, okay? bigger time frames are more reliable, right? So when you chart something like on a bigger time frame, like a key level or something that you think is going to work out, it has more probabilities working out on that bigger time frame than a smaller term time frame. Like for example, like you might catch a 200, 300 tick move on a bigger time frame, and that same zone on a 5 minute time frame might only move 50 ticks and then it will break. Make sense? So when you look for zones on a bigger time frame, that's what I look for. So what am I looking for, right? Because a lot of people don't seem to understand, right? So first things first, I'm looking like for a balance, right, in the market. I used to use Footprint Bookmap, and I look for balance. So I always ask myself, like for example, here we had a big drop. Why did we bounce here, right? Okay, we had this low. And the way that I look at it is like, okay, if there was a lot of buying pressure here at one point, right, it means because people were interested at this price, right? But the more that this level becomes used, eventually that level will break because no one's going to be interested, right? Supply and demand is a real concept, right? There might not be real supply and demand levels on the chart, but it's a real concept, right? It's a concept in e-commerce, it's a concept in the stock market, everything. And what that technically means is like once you start understanding this, you become better trader. What I mean by this is, okay, let's put it this way, okay? For example, this level here, right? We see this level here, okay? Hey, hey, sorry about that. That's my dog. Okay. You see this level here, right? Let's say we're talking over here about like you can see the price over here. Let's say this is the price of an iPhone, right? And let's say that people were interested at one point buying the iPhone. They didn't want to. No one wanted to buy an iPhone because there was no demand, right? But eventually, people felt like it was a good price to buy the iPhone at 2139, right? Everyone wanted to buy the iPhone now at 2139, right? Okay, they became interested. Okay. Okay, price started moving up because there was a lot of demand for the iPhone. Everyone wanted the iPhone at that price. They found it interesting, and it started popping off. When we come back at that level, because that was a key level where it really popped off, right? There was a lot of buying pressure. People are gonna find that same level interesting. It's always gonna do something at that level. Okay, whether it's breakthrough and go lower to another more interesting price or not. And that's just kind of like the way that supply and demand works. So we got to understand, why are we balancing here and where can we reject, right? So um personally, I don't see why we would bounce there. um so obviously I don't do support and resistance trading, so I wouldn't put any levels there. I would, instead of doing this, I would just break down my chart more, right? So I would go down into a 3 hour, and then I would say, okay, do we have anything on the 3 hour that I might want to feel like there's a buying zone? And I do not see anything. I would go down into a 2 hour. Do I see anything that might be a buying zone? And I really don't. As of now, I do not. Okay. So then I'll go into the 1 hour, and I will see, is there anything here that shows me a buying zone? And then we go down over here. Do I see anything that might be a buying zone? Oh, there you go. Sorry, went too far over there. Okay, and this was previously. But look, you see what I'm talking about now, right? Take a look at the 90 minute, and then we see that we came down, balanced out, and then this is where all the pressure became pressure, right? So we created the zone, right? And the zone kind of broke through. Don't get me wrong, like it has wicks to the bottom, but I'm gonna show you how I play these zones, right? You can call it a demand zone, you can call it an order block. I don't care what you call it, okay? It's not, concepts are just concepts, right? This is just my level, okay? And the way that I see is that people were interested here at one point, and they might be interested again. Okay. Um. So what is the next step here? right, is to understand the zone, right? What I'll use is this tool. It's called the you click on the box. I never label my boxes green or red, and the reason I don't do that is because I'm not. It's not a buying zone. You know, it's buying pressure, but it's not a like where I'm gonna immediately click buy if I enter the zone. No, there I could go both ways, right? So I always like to play middle line. Okay, you can put your middle line whatever color you want. I don't care, red, blue, orange. You know, you want to be fancy. I'm gonna make it big for now because I want you guys to understand this. And the way that I look at it is I have level 1, level 2, and level 3. All right? 3 levels in a zone. Okay? And the way that we're going to play this is this level, first level where we come into, and it's also the way, forgot to mention, it's also the way that you mark out the zone, right? So if you, for example, right, you might see another zone, but it might not work. You need to find strong zones, is all I'm saying. Not some crappy zones with weird wicks and everything. And I'll show some examples later on. But anyway, this is a good zone, right? We have level 1. So what can happen at level 1, right? At level 1, okay, you're looking for a buy. Okay, that's trade number 1. So I'm just gonna put here, right? T1. That's trade number 1. Okay. We're never gonna play short in this area. That's another rule. I might do it sometimes, but that's because I maybe have lack of discipline sometimes. So there's no trade here unless you're only playing the long, right? So what I mean by that is like in this area over here, like from 1 to level 2, like you're not going to short it is what I'm saying, right? But you can, for example, let's say we go down here, then we come back up, you can long that. You know what I mean? Because we're above level 1. Okay. Then we have level 2. So level 2 is tricky, but it's the best level to take a trade. That's why you see me take a lot of trades here. Sometimes we'll break level 2 and then we'll wait and we'll close above. We close above, we're taking long immediately with the stop loss below, tight risk management's on fire. We have level 3. Level 3, for me, it's always the hardest to play. I always struggle to play this level. Because if we close above level 3, we can go long, but then we have 50% that we might reject and then go short again. Or we might just break through level 3 and go back all the way up. And it's always like level 3 for me has always been the toughest to play. You know, I'm very good at playing T1. First, I'm good at playing 50%, then level 1, then level 3. Okay, so we have those 3, right? And then we can short this and we break through, come back, retest, and then short it. Okay. And that's just the way that I see it, right? So now we see this. Now, do we have any other levels that we want to mark out here? No. For example, this is a supply, call it, or a box. This is a zone for selling, but I don't like it because this wick to me just shows buying pressure down here. I don't want to mark that zone. I want something strong. Strong. And there you go. This is something strong. You see how we close very strong? That's what I want, right? Not no weak zone. So now we have the zone. And now we have, what do we have here, guys? Our levels, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Make sense? And over here we have AOI. Okay, this is the area of interest. The wick on that balance, always call it an area of interest. And then this is the danger zone. So we break through that area of interest, expect to go to level 1 and then play around here or just break through here or come down. Okay, so we have our zones already. And you see, like for me, well, let's see if we have any more. So look, we have a zone inside of a zone. There's also 30-minute at 50%. I'm not going to mark it because we already have this bigger one, 90-minute. 50-minute. Oh, look at this. We have an AOI on the 50-minute right here, which we kind of retested and then came up. But I'm not going to use it because I'm not interested in that. I really am not. We have an AOI in here too. Okay, but I really like my levels that I have either way. And then we have, do we have any splits? I mean, technically you can consider this a split. A split is basically like, for example, like this could be considered a split, right? Because we have to fill this whole imbalance, right? This was the initial split, you know, and then we started filling balance. Okay. So the way that I would play this is like this, because right now it's 1:55 p.m. market just closed, so we're gonna have to skip a lot. Okay, we're just gonna have to skip. But you see what I told you about AOI? Look at what I said. Look it. Okay. But I don't trade this time, so I'm just gonna skip it. Okay. Level 1, 2, 3. What time is it? Market's gonna open soon. Okay. Market's about to open in 30 minutes. There you go. Market's opening now. This is perfect. First, let's just do a little recap. Make sure there's no zones. Okay. We didn't create any new zones. Yeah, we did. New zone over here. So basically, I'm gonna explain something because obviously the trade already happened. Okay. Look, we break 50%, and we go long, right? We would have gone long at the break of 50%. Market open because there's volatility. We're able to take that trade. We retest 50%. We could take that trade again, go long again, right? So now let's see. Now we have formed a split, right? So I would basically delete this now. I wouldn't play that. I would consider this the split. This would be my split. Okay. Split. Why is it a split? Okay. I wouldn't even find the zone anymore because now I'm going to be focused on playing this split over here. Split basically means like, okay, you know, we have like, for example, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure. I'm going to put the split at the candle closes, and I'm watching that it doesn't want to fill this imbalance, right? And forget this AOI now. Okay, because if we break this, we're going to probably fall down until 72. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow. Didn't that happen? It fell down to 61, actually. I was expecting 72, but 61. We broke the split. We came down, filled imbalance. That would have been another quick trade. Above the split, now we take long again. If we retest here, we already retested right here technically. Take the longs, go for the break of this high. Is there a split back here? Not sure. Yep, that technically is a split, but we probably are going to reject here unless we break this AOI. That will be different. Let's see what happens because the AOI, oh, we're already at the AOI and it's already rejecting because it is a 5-minute zone. But what did I say about 5-minute zones? Remember? Does anyone remember? If you remember, they don't work as good as the long-term zones, the bigger time frames. So, but this one worked well. Look at the rejection off 50%. Now, guess what I'm going to tell you? Forget the AOI because it already got broken through and already got filled. If it breaks above 50%, what are we doing? Retest, going long, unless we see momentum because this has already been tested too many times. So most likely what's going to happen is going to pop up. Okay, so split is bouncing. Look at the bounce of the split. Ooh, perfect long here. Don't go in yet because we haven't broken. Once we break, we're going to take that long. Ooh. Anyway, you can't teach experience, right? Like, okay, you see the strategy now, it's there. There's like 50 trades you could have taken. Now you understand why it takes so many trades, right? That's why it takes so many trades because it's easy. It's that easy. You just got to learn how to execute. Now, you can learn the strategy all you want, right? And I'm going to teach it soon. I'm doing like a mentorship thing soon. And you can learn the strategy. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Okay, but you can't teach experience. You can't teach risk management. Those are two things that you cannot teach. I can't teach you risk management. I can't, you know what I mean? Because this is what can happen. Let's go back. Okay. Now, this is why all you guys fuck up all the time. This is why you guys always complain. I lose. I can't trade like these, man. You can't trade at all, period. You can't trade like this. You don't know how to trade like this. You know, how much money have you made? Ask yourself. Using other strategies, what's your returns? It's not the strategy, it's you, buddy. It's in here. The problem is in there. It's not your strategy. It's not, no. Ooh, no, stop complaining. I've blown 300 accounts, Danny. I don't know what to do. Dude, fucking get your shit together. Stop fucking whining, being a little baby, okay? And learn how to execute trades. Learn how to execute and stop being a pussy. That's it. Excuse my language, but I literally, that's literally what I want to tell people sometimes. It's like, bro, you know, like learn how to execute. Stop being ridiculously afraid of going into trade or hesitant because the stock market is something about it's seconds, you know, like you need to learn how to execute a freaking trade. Whether you execute with 5 or 20 or 30, it's all the same thing. Okay? There's no difference. What it is. All right, so I'm going to tell you, let's say you have an account that has 4,500 drawdown, and you say, Danny, you only make this much money because you're a millionaire already. Okay, let's put it that way. I have 100K in my account. Okay, I have that much drawdown, and you can't lose that because you don't have that much money. Okay, whatever. We'll use that excuse. All right, so let's go. Danny trades as 100K drawdown. He can use it all if he wants to. All right, let's see. Bobby over here, I don't know who Bobby is. It's just a random name. He only has 4,500 because he's on a prop firm account. Danny goes into short here. Okay. But the difference between Danny and Bobby, Danny goes into short here. Say, I got a late entry. Let's just say that. Right. And the difference between Bobby and Danny is that Bobby is just copying Danny, or Bobby is just basing it off of strategy. But Bobby don't give a fuck about nothing else. He don't care about his management. You know, he forgot about risk management, his psychology. He's just following the strategy. Bobby is fucking up. How do we fix this, Bobby? Because Danny is about to make a lot of money on this short because it rejected 50%, broke below level 3. Danny went in the trade, and Danny is going to execute the trade, right? As soon as it comes down here. All right, here we go. So let's just do, I usually do 70 ticks. All right, but in this scenario, yeah, it also depends on the stop. For example, let's say let's find a better execution. Let's find a real execution. How's that? Okay, so let's go back to 50%. Let's see if price goes back to 50%. Okay. Okay, it is. Boom. Level 1. I hate playing this fucking level. Okay, I gotta stop cussing. No more cussing. I'm excited today, guys. I gotta no more cussing though. Come on, that's enough. Okay, I hate playing this level, and it's also 9:35 a.m. I want to see 50%. See, that level's good, dude. Like, it balanced perfectly on level 1, but dude, that level just, I don't know, man. I can never play that level. I always like do horrible. I want it to go to 50%. Let's see if we go ever to 50%. Then a popping from level 1. Dude, look, we could have totally played that level. Why are we scared? All right, well, let's find another trade here. And just find our zone very quick. Okay. There. Nothing there. What's the date here? January 6th. 2 days. All right, let's find something we could play. Okay. Okay, there's a zone over here, but I'm just trying to find something quick. Okay. We already broke above. It looks like everything's gonna pop, honestly. Yeah, because the balance has to be filled over there. Yeah, so it's like this level has to most likely is what we're gonna end up playing. Okay, found it. Perfect. Ooh, love this. We have a zone. Boom. We're already above the zone, above 50%. Ooh, shit. Why didn't we take this earlier? All right. Let's say we would have taken this earlier. Okay, it's above 50%. Okay, it's obviously retesting. Market's gonna open soon. So let's just go. Let's just go smaller. Okay, because market's about to open. Boom. Oh my gosh. Okay, market just opened. As soon as we get above, here we go. Okay, perfect. Long. I said that before it popped. Long. Okay, we're going long. Okay, we came down hard. We hit the split. This would have been the split. That's the balance that needs to fill. It didn't fill it. It didn't close below the split. We're good. Okay. We popped up. Now I go long. Okay. Now Bobby went long with me. But Danny put his stop loss. Ooh, let's say Danny's playing aggressive, right? He put a stop loss at 100 ticks. Why would Danny put a 100 tick stop loss? That's crazy though, right? Oh my gosh, 100 ticks, dude, your account's gonna get smoked. No, that's because you guys don't think about risk. You guys all think about ticks and shit like that. You guys got to start rewiring your brain to start thinking about like the capital that you. What is the risk? What's the reward? Even if it's 1-to-1, that might be great risk, great reward if you can afford it. Danny goes 20 cons. Oh my gosh, but Danny's risking 10K. Well, how much will Danny make if he wins this trade? Right? Oh, Danny will risk 10K, but he might make 10K or he might make 20K. Never know. And he might make one or the other. Now let's just say Bobby says, screw it, I'm going 10 cons. What is gonna happen if Bobby loses? He's gonna lose his account. He can't even risk 10 cons. He's dumb. Stupid. He didn't even calculate his risk before going to trade. He doesn't even know why he's in the trade. And one trade, his account's gone. He's on to the next. Danny, I can't figure it out, man. You can figure it out. You don't want to figure it out. There's a complete difference. 10 cons. Dude, really? Come on. You know, so Bobby needs to learn how to calculate his risk. Say, okay, you know, Danny is looking at 50% above this level. So I'm going to take that trade too. But if he's going to have his stop loss under 50% at 100 ticks, and trust me, guys, I don't have a 100 tick stop loss. I get my entries very, very tight to that level. It's just we're on replay mode and I can't realistically do it. You know, so we say, okay, Danny's going to get his stop loss there. Okay, you know, let's do this. I can't risk. I only want to risk like $1,000. Okay. So what he needs to do, you know, is say, okay, if I lose, okay, so he should only be trading 2 contracts. That's it. But guess what? He'll make 1,000. And when you make 1,000, guess what? He can risk now 2,000. And when he makes 2,000, he can risk 3. You get what I'm saying? Dude, now you're risking 3,000 because you already made 2,000. Now you can play 10 contracts and you can risk those 3,000 with 50 ticks. But guess what? You might make another 3,000 and now you're at 6K. And now in 4 days, you're at 120K like Danny's trades. Boom. You know what I mean? But, you know, dude, the strategy is just, it's so OP, guys. Like, it's so good, but you have to learn how to use risk management. Because look at this trade. Oh my gosh. I think is this one that caught 500 ticks? No, that was recently. No, this was January 4th. But look at the trade. Like, it's there. You just got to learn how to execute it. Stop being afraid to execute. Excuse my language, by the way. I mean, it's cuss. But, you know, and yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to tell you guys. It's all about execution. Too many people think that they don't know what he's doing because he's just leveraging too much, man. You can leverage when you're as good as me, and I'm not trying to be cocky, but when you're as good as me and your psychology and your risk management, you can do whatever you want. It don't matter. It really don't matter. So I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Let's take a look at the video replay. I'm gonna delete the live. You guys. You know who has done it though? Was like $8,000 or $9,000. So obviously the return is huge. I've done it with funded futures. Big profit. What else have I done? Look at the haters. They're gonna hate. All right, so let's take a look. Right, so I'm gonna be my 100th like it. Anyway, so look at this. Right, what is this, guys? Why are we long? Right, it's a 5-minute. That's an AOI. We're bouncing that AOI. Right, execution. Right, maybe you guys didn't know that. That's why I executed the trade, but it's there. Let's take a look at another trade. Okay, why did we execute this trade? The split, the bounce at the split, execution. It's right there. Maybe you guys felt like it was gambling, but if you really understand the strategy, there was a split right there. These are all my trades from today. Let's go to the next one. Okay, another trade here. Why did we execute? There was a 1-minute split. Okay, and what happened? Executed properly. That was the first nice trade that I took, honestly. I go back to the laws. I don't have to do this in a while. Yeah. All right. Here we stop for sure. That's too tight. So look, this one was another good trade. Why did I go in this trade? What did I talk about? Level 3, right? What happens here at level 3?
Got 70 ticks.
What happens? Ooh, level 3
And
fake
then
out.
the-
Look at that.
Let's go.
Great execution. You always gotta give your trade. We played all the way till 50%. There's another good trade. We went long because we had a zone here. We hit level 1 on the zone. Right? I'm not marking the levels out, but I'm reading them as we're going. You know what happens on this one though? Another great trade, right? We went long and it works out perfectly. Then over here, why am I playing the short? Right? Oh my gosh, Danny's flipping too much. No, we just hit 50% rejection. Now I want to try the short. Does the short execute? Yes, it does. Boom. Another great trade. Now we're at the split. That's why I ended up selling the short. Okay. No, the longs, look at the longs. They came at the split. Looks like we're going to break above 50%. And I don't know. Anyway, you get the concept, right? You get the concept. Like, I need you guys to stop thinking that it's all about strategy, that trading is gambling because he's just going in and out of trades. He's reversing his positions. He doesn't know what he's doing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? You got to focus first where you're at in your trading career right now. You're not at 20 cons. You're not at 40 cons. You don't understand that type of level to make money. And that's why you're not there. That's why you are down here because you're trying to be there when you can't even be here first. Okay. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be rude to you guys, but I'm telling you the truth. You can't and will never be over here if you keep focusing on being over here. You need to focus on what's in front of you first. First, you need to focus on what you need to do to be at the level you are right now, how to be profitable where you are right now. Before trying to be profitable at this point, you have to be profitable here first. You can't flip stages, guys. You can't. You have to stay in your own lane. You have to stay in your own path. Okay. The 120K I made with TopStep, or the achievements I've done with other firms, or all this stuff, it has come with time. It didn't come overnight, trying to achieve it overnight. You saw my TikTok videos. I was making $300, $400 to start. I'm not making a ton of money. Okay. And that's how it's going to be for you. So stop getting FOMO by watching other traders. If you don't, I'm live every single morning, 6:30. You know, you need to, if you're going to follow me, you need to follow your risk management with my trades with the same stop loss. You can't say, oh my gosh, I like the trade, but I'm going to have a different stop loss. No, because the trade is my trade. You have to make your own trades too. So focus up, 100K day. Awesome. Love you all, man. It's been a journey. It's been a road, and I love trading. It's a passion that I have. I'll never stop trading in my life, no matter how much money I make from whatever it is, you know. I don't give a damn. Trading is my love. It's my life. You know, it's what I'll do forever. So thank you guys for coming on, watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I pumped a little motivation in you, and let's get it.